Hi everyone. I bring you greetings from the Netherlands. The Netherlands is the country that hosts the International Criminal Court or the International Court of Justice, especially in the city called The Hague, which is sometimes called the International City of Justice. Today I want to speak to an issue as I normally do. This entire rape allegation over a member of the Liberian legislature, a member of the Liberian parliament, Representative Morias Waylee of District number 2, Gedeh County. You may recall that on the 23rd of May, my colleagues and we had a protest on the grounds of the Capitol building, of course, home of the Liberian legislature, to ask them to investigate, to open investigations into allegation of rape hanging over one of their colleagues, Representative Waylee. On the 3rd of May this year, Front Page Africa, one of Liberia's most advanced and most reliable news network, did report that Representative Waylee allegedly raped and impregnated his 13-year-old niece, only identified as Mary. Her real name is of course withheld because we want to protect her privacy. We want to protect for the sake of confidentiality. We don't want people knowing her, and besides, international best practices call for you not making the victim knowing because of stigmatization. But since we had our protest, we saw public agitations. We saw mounting calls from people conscious enough to say, yes, indeed, there should be an investigation, and that in order for Liberia to be etched on the stones of history, it was expedient and prudent that this lawmaker in question resigned. But obviously he has not resigned, which in other countries, if you are a public official, especially an elected one, once you are accused of sexual violence, of raping a minor, you should resign to allow investigation to take its course. But for this case, it seems it is totally different. We can recall that few months ago, the president of the Liberian National Students Union was accused, and immediately he was arrested. Investigations are still underway. But for this case, it is not happening. The government is playing some kind of poker playing habit. What do I mean is that it is proving to us, the government now is proving to us, that justice will be arm twisted, that power will be abused, that the rape law will not be as effectively implemented as it has been in other cases. Either because, one, the lawmaker, the alleged rapist is a lawmaker, or the government lacks the will, especially the institutions responsible, the Ministry of Justice, the Ministry of Gender, the LNP, and other ministries as well, and other agencies of government. They lack the will. They don't have that sense of empathy. You cannot have the Minister of Gender being a female, and then this case is being taken lightly. Is it because this girl in question, this victim in question, is from a very poor family, which has already been reported to have compromised this case? The family has been compromised in this case since this little girl got pregnant and delivered on the 3rd of March this year. And as a matter of fact, the victim, according to media reports from British Africa, is suffering from fistula, which of course you and I know the effects of fistula. So I am saying today that it appears that our government now embraces rape, then it despises it. Because if you want to ensure that the fight against sexual violence, that the fight against selective justice is not a selective one, it should not be about who you are in government. You should have intervened a long time ago. Even if you have intervened now, you should be updating as to how far is this case. Now, we've understood the tricks. The tricks here are one, delay this case, delay investigation, because soon Liberia will be going to election and far too many people will be focused on the election. Two, Liberians, let's delay because Liberians are noted for only talking issues, critical issues, maybe for 2 weeks, at most 3 weeks. But let me say to the institutions responsible that this case is no case that can be treated as some kind of how should I call it, one that would be placed under the carpet. This is a case that has gained the attention of international organizations. That is the reason we've come to the Netherlands. I've come here personally to let organizations know of what are the things that are unfolding, what are the injustices that are being perpetrated against our mothers, against our sisters. And yet our laws and our institutions are so organized in a broken system that they care less about justice. They care less about people's feelings. And I want to say this, for those of us who are the frontliners against sexual violence, especially rape, we are doing so because it was a fight that was started by the president of Liberia, Africa's first female president, Her Excellency President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. So it is her fight that we are fighting. And let me also say in this manner that I am, without any disrespect, very disappointed in, of course, the president. Few days ago, there is a report, a draft report that has been lingering the political landscape in Liberia of an audit called the PDSI. And we've seen the president giving statements. We've seen the president calling individuals to come back for investigation. How I wish the president would do same for a victim of rape. How I wish the president would write the legislature and tell them that let one of their colleagues, Morias T now, recuses himself from his position to face investigation. No, but this is not the case. And to all those who are listening, it will be a history that will horrify the world should justice not be dispensed. Should this girl in question, this 13-year-old victim in question, live for the rest of her life without justice being dispensed? And the sickening part is this lawmaker even sued me for what's called criminal coercion. Where on earth would someone lead a group of protesters in accordance with laws and principles, and then they be taken to the court simply because they protested? We were not the one who first reported or who first said that this lawmaker raped and impregnated a girl. We were relying on Front Page Africa. You know, it was a great journalist, American journalist, Philip Graham, who said that journalism is the first draft of history, or is the first rough work of history. Now, everything that comes from the media, to some extent, it has reliability. It has some level of truth until otherwise. So we are saying to you, the fact that this ministry, this entity, Front Page Africa, can report this story, it means the government must take interest. But sadly, it is not the case. Thus proving to us now that the government only goes after cases where a poor man is accused of rape. So is it because this lawmaker is an elite? He is part of the government? Let me say to you, Madam President, to the friends of the president, the people who are close to her, you are doing the president no good by ensuring that justice is not dispensed, by ensuring that the lawmaker is not investigated. It has been established by Front Page Africa that this girl is actually linked to this man. Initially, he said, he challenged all of us activists, media, that we should provide a victim. The victim has spoken up. In fact, her mother has taken her to the sandy bush. We would have thought, or we had thought, that the president would come out to say something. That the president will mandate the Internal Affairs Ministry to come out and say something. But sadly, it is not the case. It is saddening and it is sickening. It is sorrowful and it is horrible that we live in this age and time when women and girls under a female president will be victims of sexual violence, yet the institutions that our president set up to deal with these cases are showing no interest. Let me say to you, you are undermining the work of this president, and I think it's about time the president to take a stand. 6 years ago, the world was on the brink of not 6 years, but 12 years ago, the world was on the brink of a grand celebration. And that celebration was the inauguration of the first female African president. Today, we are perhaps on the brink of collapse, as we see our women and girls, our mothers and sisters, and sometimes boys, are victims of sexual violence, whether it's rape or sodomization. I'm also inviting all of the women groups in Liberia. For too long, you have been silent. This is a critical case that requires everyone's attention. If you do nothing to protect this girl, tomorrow, to ensure that justice prevails for this little girl, tomorrow when history hosts its trial, you will all be acquitted on the basis of aiding and accommodating sexual violence in Liberia. The choice is yours to join us in this advocacy, to demand the government to do its job by ensuring that the representative is investigated and if found guilty, prosecuted, and nothing should hinder his investigation. There are already pieces of evidence that are available that can be used to arrest this lawmaker now. What are you waiting for? Lastly, I want to say in this manner and form, despite the charge of criminal coercion that was filed against me by this lawmaker, despite it has been dropped, I want to say that I still feel threatened in Liberia. If anything happens to me or my colleagues who are involved into this advocacy, whether it's Sata Sharif, whether it's Samuel Wonder from the National Children Youth Advisory Board, and all of the other young people who are involved, I want to say to you, the lawmaker should be held liable. We are advocating on the basis of conscience and conviction, and we will continue to tread our path. No one has influenced or is influencing our thoughts. We do so because of passion to transform our country. Thank you. God bless you.